Time after time, we hear about the wars between AEW and WWE. Truth be told, at this point, it isn't really a war of wrestling per se, but nevertheless, intrigue is there for fans. Other promotions may not be on broadcast TV, but as we all know, that doesn't mean they have no stars. Impact is highly regarded within the WrestleBuddy circle here, but I wanted to highlight some attributes from a historic franchise in the business. The NWA has been around for decades, and if you pay close attention, some awesome things occur on there weekly. Here's 5 reasons why you should watch the NWA. Number 5. Old school feel. At this point, we're just getting used to NXT 2.0 with their stage. AEW Dark, which is filmed in Florida too, has a nice production scheme as well. When you envision the theatrics as far as interviews go, we think of the NWA television production and an audience about 9 feet away from the ring on one side. This is like watching a taping of your favorite sitcom of yesteryear. Even the belts look like prestigious museum pieces for any collector. The key point being made here, however, is how polished the interviews are with the animosity towards their opponent focused on the viewer at home. The talent in this show, believe it or not, think that their fans are as clients. They are selling their being to the audience, and oh, they're so believable. Number 4. Familiar faces. So, we aren't going to talk about talent that has recently jumped ship from the broadcast shows. I'm talking about guys that you haven't seen on TV for quite some time, only because they chose to go somewhere else. Say what you want about Chris Masters, Trevor Murdoch, and Elijah Burke and their times in WWE, but they are some of the best talents in the business that look like legitimate badasses in the industry. Sure, Brodus Clay was a dancing dinosaur, but Tyrus will kill Luchasaurus in 1 minute. These look like competitors that you will never cross. Number 3. Episodic TV. By now, I sound like a broken record. When I discussed on prior lists about how important it is for people to want to be entertained with action, personalities, and interviews, I mean it. I'm also confident in knowing that that's what wrestling fans across the board need. Owner Billy Corgan, the writer of 1979, wants to take us back to that year with an enjoyable show. The interviewers know where to stand, the pantomiming isn't over-eccentric, and the raw emotion comes through with each match. We aren't asking for much here. The vintage entries into commercials brings you back to a time where you didn't have an issue waiting until the show was over at 10 p.m. on a Saturday to go out. One other thing that proves how much they don't oversaturate the audience with too much with run-ins, no DQ matches, and interruptions is the fact that they actually care about storytelling. I'm not saying that they don't do this, but less is more. Here's the meat and the potatoes. Number 2. The woman combatants. Let me ask you something. Where did the premier wrestling woman in AEW come from? Thunder Rosa and Serena Deeb are 2 of the best in the business, while giving a credible rub to their opponents, even if they are named Rio. Those are just 2 of the wrestlers in AEW, but now check out Kylie Ray, Allison Kay, Lady Frost, and the extra marketable Camille. Picture a properly working and contrite Chyna that is beauty and brawn. Other known names of Mickie James, Melina, Velvet Sky, and Gail Kim show how formidable of a roster this is. And the action is top tier. These are people who go to master their craft and have the training to do it. If there is one reason to watch NWA, this is it. Number 1. Nick Aldis. I never really ever talked about how there is one wrestler that should be the reason why we watch or pay attention to a company. Take a look at Nick Aldis though. It's as if he is a mixture of champions from yesteryear, molded by the hand of gods known as Lou Thesz, Harley Race, and Dusty Rhodes. He is the personification of what a champion should act and look like. His wrestling is in a class of its own. A few years ago, he had a match against Mike Bennett. which brought out the best in his underrated wrestling ability. Nick Aldis is a professional that is like nobody else in the business. Not saying that there's a fault in the business, but I really wish more champions acted and looked like him. Do not sleep on the caliber of champion this guy is, with or without the title. In closing, NWA should not be overlooked. This is a strong program with fun angles and incredible workers. Give it a watch and you won't be disappointed. This is Dale signing off for WrestleBuddy, and if you like the words that are spoken today, then like, subscribe, and click that notification bell for all WrestleBuddy content. Don't forget to interact with us as well, and just keep on enjoying wrestling. See you next time.